Khalik. We're here to talk about. We're here to discuss some things, and yeah, it's going to be a good show. We got some really, really good things to be discussing. Some really good, juicy topics. I think the one that we should open it up with, right off the bat, because it's just so relevant right now, is DaBaby. Like, what I know that everybody's seen, at least the clip of his concert, like from the concert, right? Everybody seen that? Yes. So I want to get everybody's like just reaction when they seen it. Like, what was the reaction going through your head? We're gonna start with Benji.
Well, my reaction was, oh, here we go, another black street guy thinking he knows something about gay people. Yeah, cool. Thinking he knows something about gay people, making his comments, you know, like, what do you know about people in back alleys sucking on stuff?
He said parking lot.
Maybe something happened before he came on stage. Maybe something happened for him to say something.
Maybe he was in a parking lot.
It was weird.
I mean, it was real weird. I was like, okay, like, where did that come from? I don't listen to his music anyway, but I wasn't surprised at his comments. I mean, it is what it is.
To me,
cancel him or don't.
It seemed like he was calling out another celebrity. Like, that's what I got. Like,
oh, you got some kind of celebrity rivalry from it all.
Like, he called somebody, you know, in the industry doing some shit, and he was calling them out. But the rest of the rant really didn't, like, when he started talking about other stuff like HIV and if you die in 2 weeks, I was.
That's what he started with. Like, it was so random.
That's what he started with, and he clearly never has taken a health class or talked to a health professional. Like, who found out they got HIV and dies in 2-3 weeks? Nobody.
I think it was low-key a publicity stunt. Like, he did that for the feedback that he's getting right now, because negativity sells. So my personal opinion is he did it to get what's going on right now, everybody talking about it. But to me, cancel him, period.
Yeah. Like, everybody talking about it because he brought Tory Lanez on stage too, and people were mad about that. And then somebody at that same concert, he brought Tory Lanez on stage with him. The one who shot me.
We canceled him. Who was that?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's why. And then somebody threw a shoe at him, like at that same concert.
Yeah, he got
like, I honestly think that, like, well, just from me initially watching it, I feel like something had to happen at his last concert because you're on tour, right? So for you to just come out and make this announcement before you start in another song, which I don't think you have any songs about what you made the announcement about, like, you know what I mean? So my thing is, what happened at your last tour? Did you run it? Was you chilling with a guy and then he hit on you and you ain't know he was gay and then it like threw you all off? So now, because it's just like, to me, it seemed like you were scarred.
That's why I said something happened in the parking lot.
Yeah, a grinder hooked up, then went bad. A grinder went bad. And he talked about
his hype man was like, "Oh yeah, because some of y'all real sus." Like,
right. That's what made me seem like he was hanging with somebody, and he didn't know that they got down until they probably came at him. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, even if he did get, like, just say you don't get down like that and keep it moving.
Exactly.
Yeah, why even bring it up on a show? Like, that's what I don't get.
I don't get that.
Right. I was like, what really went through your mind? Like, people really don't think before they speak. Like,
they're straight people.
I think he thought it out. I think it's a publicity stunt to get the attention that he's getting right now.
Okay, and my thing is, all right, so I don't know whether it was a publicity stunt, whether it was just him just making the biggest mistake of his career, or whether it was from something that happened. But I do know his response didn't make it any better. So
I don't even see anything about his response. Like, I look into that.
Me either.
Like, DaBaby is like, he like you say, he's a pop star. He's doing them white people songs. So it's like, you really, like, you know, black people instantly going to cancel him or whatever. But I'm
gay black people, not the
right. It was like, no, what black gay black people are going to cancel.
Black gay black people.
Right. I wonder what the white people got to say, because, you know, they love a token, and he definitely was that guy. like on the Dua Lipa songs and all the other pop.
So
Really?
his
I don't know too much about him.
Oh, he's big. He's huge.
I know he is big. I loved him until that.
He's like basically the male Megan Thee Stallion. Like where she at in her career, he's at the same place.
Right. He's got like features out the wazoo. Like,
right.
Oh,
yeah,
see,
he was better than her.
I saw him one time and probably said, "Oop, nope, something ain't right," and look, I was right.
Don't die.
So,
man, that Taurus intuition, like
it comes
for y'all who didn't see or hear his response, just to give a quick recap, he went on a rant in his response about his gay fan base. So he started to go on and say, and I don't know if it's verbatim, I'm just trying to like summarize it or whatever. But
give us the judge.
Yeah, just he basically split on and said that his gay fan base is not like what he ranted about. He said his gay fan base don't give head in the parking lot. They got class. You got to take them out somewhere. They want to be. They're not nasty like that. They don't end up with diseases. His gay fan base is not messy. So
it sounded like he was trying to backtrack and regain the LGBT community.
Was he trying to talk about just DL men? Because there's a case you say that.
But no, it didn't make sense because, all right, first he said something about the HIV, then he said something about the women pussy smelling like water, and I'm like, okay, what kind of water are you talking about?
What kind of clear fruit? Because I don't know no water that smells any kind of way.
That water don't smell good, you know.
Clear fruit. I must be talking about clear fruit.
So it was like to me,
or Propel.
He was trying to, coddle the gay community and be like, "Oh, my gay fans," just to like. But it was already.
Oh, like trying to clean it up. Oh, my gay fans are out and proud. They don't got to stick around and get BJ's.
Listen. So he even went on and said there was a gay. He highlighted a guy that he seen at his concert who was in the front row, had a crop top. He was like, yeah, he was getting his life. I even went over there and rapped with him, and I don't have nothing against gay people or whatever. So my thing is this: when you're a certain celebrity or when you're at a certain like fame level of fame,
you have a platform.
When you have a platform of any sort, when you have a platform, you are entitled to be held accountable for the things that you do on this platform, the things that
ignorance
platform, the ignorance that you carry, and the fact that you just didn't say sorry. Like, and he even went on and said that it wasn't for the people who wasn't there. They just lucky that they got to see that clip. It was only for the people who paid to go to my show. And very, very arrogant. Like
that's not part of your performance. Like your opinion doesn't matter. Just rap. Like shut the fuck up and rap.
But just imagine if you were somebody that was, on your last 2-3 weeks, and you like, all right, that's my favorite artist. I'm gonna go see him before I die. Like, just imagine how small he probably made you feel.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Disrespectful.
Very, very much so. I think
like there are people who are born with HIV that had no control
exactly.
over the situation. Like,
and people with it are not messy. Like, there's a lot of people I know that don't got it.
That don't got it. Exactly.
Like, and I'm pretty sure
don't know they got it.
Also, there's a lot of out gay people that I know doing shit in parking lots. So, like, what is he talking about?
I don't know if he was saying. I don't know the way he said it, because he started off with the HIV thing, and then he went to the females. If your pussy smells like water. Or whatever, and then he went to the gay thing or sucking dick in the parking lot. I don't think that the gay thing and the HIV thing had anything to do with each other. I think it was more so he was
his response made it.
Oh, you talking the response?
Yeah, his response.
His response. I think his response was because of the backlash, because it was nothing but gay people coming to his neck. So therefore, the backlash is why he responded the way he responded. He tried to regain their respect. But I think he was coming at another celebrity. That's my opinion. Okay. Low key.
I honestly think
everybody talk about Diddy.
What celebrity do y'all think he's talking about?
I don't know. Maybe people that's around Megan, because him and Megan, kind of like have a little issue right now. maybe it's because everybody's around Megan. Maybe he just throwing shade, or maybe somebody was taking up for her, and he just, I'm just saying
Right.
it could happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
It might be another rapper who I don't want to get too much, but it's probably like another rapper that he's probably coming out.
I don't think it's about anybody. I just think he was ranting. He probably been high on stage and said what he said. Sometimes people just say stupid shit out their mouth, whatever's off the top of their head, and he's got to deal with the consequences of it. He's a jackass with them dumbass teeth.
I definitely think he has to deal with the consequences, and I definitely think there was no cleaning it up without just apologizing for what you said.
Yeah.
Just apologize to those that you hurt.
I don't even want apologies from people that's like that. Like, you said what you said. Like,
you meant it.
And you can't take back what you said. Like, you can't. Like,
but we also had other celebrities in the past that have done that. Like,
and that's why they canceled.
But no, Nicki Minaj, she regained her.
She regained.
That's because y'all barbs are stupid.
Exactly. She regained them insecure gays that want to dress like her. She still canceled in my book.
Okay, agree. I like her music, but I don't support her like that. But I do like her music.
I do not.
Right. Just like Doja Cat. Like, nobody remembers what she said about niggas, and then she came out with that song, "Niggas Ain't Shit." It was like, you really don't embrace your black side. Like,
I remember
until
it's
beneficial for a point. Every time that song come on my playlist, I'll skip it because it just doesn't sit right with me. Like,
we doing that. I want to say the thing that she did say about gay people when that Orlando thing happened, when there was the bombing thing in the club. Happened, and she put on. She tweeted. Shooting. My bad. When she made that tweet, she said she believed in what the Bible say about gay people. After that had happened, that was too much, and she kind of tried to come back and try to regain her little respect, but that wasn't cool.
Yeah,
because it doesn't say anything about gay people, honestly.
Wow.
The miseducation of Nicki Minaj.
But I'm sure it says something about her sucking dick without being married.
All right, so just coming off of that, so we know that. So I mean, do y'all think, real quick, should DaBaby be canceled or not?
Cancel.
I don't care either way. I never listen to his music anyway, so they can throw him in the trash, raise his ass to the sky.
It's a chop for me, but it is disappointing because it's just like
his job is an entertainer. So if somebody was working at McDonald's and they came in, they messed up, then therefore, what you gonna do? Fire them. So therefore, cancel them.
I don't mind.
You can go ahead and clock out.
See, I don't mind when entertainers have an opinion. Like, you can have an opinion or whatever, but when your opinion is towards a certain community of people or whatever, like, keep it to yourself. You're trying to be disrespectful for what? And again, I'm not surprised about what he said because it ain't like we ain't heard it from a black straight man before.
Right.
And if any celebrities ever see this, most of y'all supporters come from the LGBTQ
and most of y'all
community.
Style come from our community.
The style, the swag, everything comes from us. So therefore, don't be disrespectful. Educate yourself.
Exactly. It's not coming from tuna casseroles.
Okay.
So with all that, like, with cancel culture being a thing, and we seem to be unanimous with DaBaby being canceled. Let's go to somebody that was canceled but is being re-embraced by the world, I should say, which is Kanye West. Because we could remember when Kanye West was going on his whole Trump rant, when he was going on his whole anti-slavery rant, when he was going on. I mean, he had a couple of rants. I mean, Kanye West had definitely a couple of rants. And a couple of moments where people was looking at him like, what's going on? I mean, he even went on his rant about running for president. But now the world has embraced him with a day in Atlanta. He has his official Kanye West Day. He had he gives these HBCUs tickets to his album listening
choir rehearsal.
That was his album listening party.
Wasn't it a gospel album? Choir rehearsal.
Oh, it was called
Nice,
Donda.
nice album.
It was Donda. It was after his mom or something. I didn't really get into the album details because honestly, Kanye West for me hasn't proved to be a insane mind or whatever. He's walking around with a stocking cap over.
I don't know.
I mean, like to me, you're still in the mode of trying to be in the press. And like it's not even about your music. I feel like it's not about your music. It's just about publicity. And
He's a
relevant.
narcissist.
But see,
He's a narcissist.
As a celebrity, most of them have to do things to be relevant. And I kind of get it, you know what I'm saying? And negativity sells. So therefore, it is what it is with that situation. But he should be canceled too, because all that slavery shit he was talking about, you gotta go.
But
not to make excuses, he does have a mental issue. He's bipolar. He's taking medicine and all that stuff.
Is he taking it?
But one, there. I don't know. People are really. They pick and choose who they are ready to forgive because
I think they think
Chrisette Michelle is still canceled. Like, don't nobody.
Who? She shouldn't be though. Exactly. But she came back with a rebuttal and she gained my respect back. I think that she.
Michelle.
Okay.
So, Randy, what you was going to say?
It ain't like she went and said she voted for him. She was just performing.
Right. With Kanye West, it's like, all right, you understand that he might be a little off.
Might be.
Okay. No, because there are people that think like him. Like there's Trump supporters, people that anti-slavery.
And they're all too.
All right, but it's true, but it's people that think like that. So whatever spectrum you fall on, he's going to always be relevant because he has that media personality that kind of like the paparazzi wants to get to him. So he's always going to be able to twist.
Okay, so
I think that's because of Kim Kardashian.
Okay, wait. So if that is true, if we believe that the media and paparazzi always going to be after him, then why does he have to be such a gimmick? Like, why? What's up with the
That's just who he is. He is a gimmick.
Like, you know what I mean? If you're the type of person where you can do absolutely nothing and the paparazzi is still going to come after you, why be a gimmick?
But I think that plays into his ego. So just remember what happened with the Taylor Swift thing. So you gotta remember some of these, celebrities, they aren't humble. They aren't, ground based. Like some of them actually feed off that ego, and paparazzi and publicity actually feeds it to them. He said things that are offensive to us. Now, to other people, he didn't say anything wrong to him.
But
so
Randy, if you look at it that way,
nobody ever said anything to a lot of people. Like you remember when with the whole George Fish hate black people thing? Like he said a lot of offensive things to a lot of different kinds of people. He's just ignorant.
His excuse came with the excuse that they gave him, the card they gave him was mental illness, and we going through this whole stage where let's talk about mental.
Everybody's blaming mental illness.
But in all due respect, we had this mental awareness thing that we all talking about right now, but we're not trying to celebrate or uplift mental illness like this. It's not cute to be bipolar. It's not cute to be schizophrenic. That's not cute. But we want you to get help. We want you to have somebody to talk to and feel freely to do that. But it's not cute. But they celebrating it. That's where the twist is coming in.
Right. It's not negativity. An excuse. There's something that needs to be addressed. And if you address it properly, that's the thing that we're trying to get to, where it's like, okay, whereas though in the black community, it was like, what? Therapy? We don't do that. What? Like, you barely go to the doctor.
Then again, you want to forgive somebody for their mental health issues. Either you want somebody to get therapy or not.
There are those people who be like, oh, you can separate the work from the person, and I'm like, that's an excuse of what they've been using from Bill Cosby.
Michael Jackson and Bill Cosby,
R. Kelly.
Anything anybody who's doing anything that's controversial, and it's just like, as black people,
we forgive.
We tend to coddle
our own.
Like we tend to coddle celebrities or whatever, because like, yeah, Kanye got some box. Like, Watch the Throne, like that shit still my shit. Like, but
yeah,
it's like you gotta take accountability for like your actions. But and then also in the same breath, I feel like people hold celebrities at too high of a regard or place in their life as far as like
A lot of people do
there's
that.
it's God, Jesus,
horrible.
and Beyonce, or certain shit like that. It's like, come on, they just regular people, honestly. So
Exactly.
I will never pay for his music again, but I will download
who still
it
pays for
illegally.
music? I mean, I pay for Apple Music. So
Or Apple.
Who are you talking about? Who are you
Apple
talking
people.
about?
Kanye West. I will never pay for his music again, but if it's a good song, I'll download it illegally. I will not support it.
Okay, so
Illegally, guys.
let's look at let's just look at the opposite of the spectrum, which a lot of straight people, which when I looked under when I was looking under the baby stuff and like about the cancel culture and everything, everybody's like, well, what about Lil Nas X?
Exactly. See,
There's no comparison.
there's no comparison, but it's other people on that side of the spectrum where they don't think they think.
what did Lil Nas X do or say that was like
Nothing. Just
problematic?
him
Well, listen,
existing.
this is
Just
the
him
other.
existing.
This is the other side of the spectrum. You have people that are actually
I don't care about that spectrum.
who are homophobic,
Yeah, people
right,
are really,
whatever
people
like
really
that.
do have a problem about that. Like I read something
Exactly.
where it was
So
like, oh, he came out presenting one way, and then all of a sudden he came out
that
with this
whole
whole
gay
gay
agenda.
thing and that gay agenda. He was like,
Exactly.
yeah, no, there's no such thing as
What is a gay agenda?
Like,
Why do people keep
Hey,
saying that? I don't
because
understand.
it's
What
just
is
like,
that?
oh, I can't influence somebody to suck cock. It means they don't know you really just wanted to suck some dick. Like,
There's a straight agenda that's been going on for millions of years.
Yeah.
We exist, and that is it. And they're bothered by existence, so they think it's an agenda. Ain't nobody worrying about y'all like that.
Yeah, I feel like Lil Nas X wasn't doing so to go off of what Randy perspective is, like everybody has a spectrum. I feel like yeah, everybody does, and that's why they have specific groups for these things. But when you're on a platform that is not for a specific group, it's actually open for anybody and everybody to witness and to be a witness to, you got to look at things differently. Like
Right. So when you in the entertainment business and you have that mindset to, say things behind closed doors and be personal with it and not offend anybody, that's professional. But when you go out and just say crazy stuff and target certain people, you don't need to be in this business. Cancel. Goodbye.
Cancel. And I think, and I feel like
who asked you? It was like completely unsolicited. Like,
yeah,
that's why I think he was talking about somebody.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
He was just-
but he
he was-
also when he did what he did, he targeted a certain community. So
a
that
certain
wasn't
group
cool.
of certain men. Yeah. And my thing is, like, people always saying that, basically, why y'all focusing on what somebody's saying? They, there shouldn't be that important. But they fail to realize that we live in a country that the popular thought becomes laws here. So chill with the crap.
Yep.
Like, it's unnecessary. The popular thought here becomes a law, literally.
He got a whole bunch of little minions, people who want to be like him.
Exactly.
Look up to him, and people who already thought like him, and they're just
emboldened
them, right, to continue and act like that shit. Like,
and even if, and in this country that we live in right now, we got to be careful because we all seen what happened when Donald Trump elicited that riot at the fucking city.
Exactly.
Like, so your platform does matter.
it's still not being
it does
It does matter. Even when you're not a celebrity, you're just a public figure, like a specific porn star, adult entertainer, I'm gonna say his name, Hollywood, went underneath the post and actually try to justify what DaBaby did and say he's the entertainer. He said certain things. I'm not gonna quote exactly what he said, but he was all for what he said. He's like, he's the entertainer. So he gave him a pass card, like it is what it is. He's a gay man. Why would you do that? That's to me, that is like that's not cool at all. Like you taking up for a homophobic gesture and comment that hurt a lot of people, and you have a platform to
homophobic.
That's not
that's
cool,
like
bro.
That's like being a black Republican.
That's
so with all that being said, like, so it seems to me that we are now living in a culture that is super sensitive, like versus the culture that we used to live in. Like back in when we all grew up, like we heard so many jokes.
The 90s.
Okay, we heard so many jokes about this group of people, that group of people, those group of people, and nobody really, or if they was offended, we didn't have the internet around to let us know. So,
exactly. But see, that's the thing. Like,
we all know some of these these comedians that were nationally big and had national syndication with their.
There was offensive things all the time.
But
just people are more sensitive, and everybody's focused on people being bullied or feeling so, feeling hate towards them, and it was that rise in suicides and all stuff like that. So everybody's just sensitive about everybody's feelings. I honestly don't care.
Well, no, what happened is social media allowed people to be kind of like the power of response. So that's what happened now. So it's a difference from back in our day where you used to watch something on TV and then you probably be offended. The only thing you could fucking do was write a letter.
And not a lot of people.
But nobody really cared.
Right. It's not like it was recorded and played over and over and broadcasted to millions of people within seconds. Like,
that's true too.
That's why, like, technology is a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And we could thank the age of Aquarius for that, because Team Aquarius, by the way, we live in different times right now. Back then, we was living in Pisces or some shit like that. Like, everybody was so emotional and religious, and who they was taught to be. Everybody was walking around with their heads down because they was ashamed of who they are. We live in a different time now. Right now, the age of Aquarius is
nobody has shame anymore.
Right, it's about individuality. So we're trying to push, individuality, like be who you are instead of being who somebody told you should be.
Right, being gay or trans was a punchline.
Like, be who you are.
Everyone could get a land.
It's be who you are until we cancel you.
Hold on, say it again.
What's the age of Aquarius? Yeah. How long does it last?
Like
years. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like
200.
Years, hundreds of years. We just left the age of Pisces. But like honestly,
they need to be in the age of Taurus already. All these fucking
no, we need to be in the age of Aquarius, baby.
Anyway,
we got so many different
moving on. That's why everybody's so flaky.
That's probably why everybody's so flaky.
I mean, Pisces, yeah, that's why.
Y'all know them Aquarius flaky as hell.
We're not flaky. We just don't like drama.
Tell Kenya more of that. Moving on.
Team Kenya.
I'm going with
Team Kenya, baby.
Fabulous.
So logic over emotion.
So listen, being in this sensitive age of Aquarius that we're in, like, do we I'm just going to use this term because I feel like this is the easiest term to go off of. Do ugly still exist in America?
Yep.
I don't think nobody personally.
I do.
And I feel like Khalik's mindset is now like becoming the wave of America. Like, nobody's ugly.
People are ugly. They just got filters now.
Okay.
They ain't got filters in person.
That's why you be disappointed.
All right, so